everybody, welcome to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron, and as you just saw before the intro, we got an 88 Chevy short bed OBS truck, and it's a pretty nice one. So what I didn't show you was I ain't got no motor in it. So it's part of what we're going to be doing on this one, but not all of it. So a buddy of mine that I've worked on a bunch of trucks and stuff for, he brought it over to me, and he's wanting to do a 454 SS clone. So, and by clone I mean we're putting a 454 SS in this truck, and there's a few other things that were signature to the 454 SS that he has that we want to put on here. But in the overall reality of it, we're really making a 454 HG, which I'm pretty sure you can figure out what that means. You got it yet? Need a little bit of help? 454 Harmon Garage Edition. So anyways, that being said, we have a 454. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one either. Yeah, not that. Oh, hey, there it is. We got a 454 with a turbo 350 on it that we pulled out of another car. This motor was fresh, like been rebuilt. They were restoring the car, put it in the car, and it was all sitting in there and everything, and the guy that was restoring the car passed away. Now, I have started that motor to make sure it wasn't locked up, make sure, you know, everything was copacetic with it, and it is. Like, I poured gas down the carburetor and started it because it was still in the vehicle that I took it out of. I just didn't film any of that because, for one thing, I didn't want 1.5 million questions about the car, and second, I didn't want 1.5 million comments about, you know, why are you ruining that car? Why are you taking that motor out? Why are you this? Why are you that? Because at the end of the day, it's not my choice. It's not my stuff. Somebody brought me this truck and that car and said, hey, I want you to pull the motor and tranny out of that car and put it in this truck. And I said, gotcha. So that's what we're doing. Speaking of comments, why don't you leave one if you would, please? Help me out a lot. Hit the like button while you're at it. And if you're not subscribed, please do, because I'm telling you right now, this is going to be more than a one-part series to get this truck completely done. So if you clicked on it because you wanted to see what we were doing with it, then you're probably going to want to see part 2 also. So you might as well just subscribe, and that way YouTube will let you know when I put it out. So anyways, first things first, we have a set of 454 SS wheels. These aren't the best caps, but we have caps that are in better shape. We've got all the lug nuts. We've got all the lug nut covers. We've got the transmission we got to pull out of the truck. I'm going to strip this whole engine compartment. We got a parts truck over there that, or a parts Tahoe, I guess I should say, that we can get parts off of. But for right now, we're going to strip all the air conditioning and everything out of it, because he's going to go with like a vintage air style setup or a universal under dash setup, so we don't have all this extra stuff in here. So for right now, we're going to pull this condenser out because it won't be used with whatever new setup he uses. And I'm going to pull radiator overflow. I'm going to pull intake tubes we're not using. I'm going to pull all the AC stuff. Obviously that transmission has to come out, and obviously, even being an 88 or 89, I think it's an 88, maybe an 89, but even being that, it was throttle body, and it's got a lot of extra wiring that we don't need. So I'll probably go through and show you guys how to break down the harness so that the headlights and all that stuff still work, but you can take out all the stuff for the throttle body, because I probably didn't mention this yet, but it's going to be carbureted, because that's what we like, old school stuff. Carburation will make it work. So anyways, moving on, we're going to get some sportier looking mirrors for it, because those definitely are not. The interior is in pretty dang good shape for the fact that it sat in the woods for 20 years like it is. These are not the right seats, and this is not the seat that's staying in here. These seats are coming out, and the owner of the truck has a very nice maroon, burgundy, whatever you want to call it, bench seat that's going to go in here. He likes bench seats. That's what this truck came with, and it matches better, and it'll be good or whatever. But this needs some cleaning up, but other than that, it's in really good shape. We had to get a new drive shaft because I'll show you the other one in a minute. We got our hood here. I just took it off so I could work on it one day when I had help over here. And the rest of the truck, other than needing a paint job, is very clean. And just real quick, that's why we needed a new drive shaft. So I'm gonna get my stuff together. I'm gonna move these wheels and tires out of the way, and I'm gonna get tools out here. We'll start pulling grills off and all that stuff, and getting all the stuff that I told you that we were going to get out of here. And first thing we're going to do before we do anything else is paint the engine compartment, because why go through the hassle of all this work and putting an engine in if you're not going to clean everything up and make it nice? So that's what we're doing. All right, I got some stripping done. Got all the battery box and air intake stuff and coolant overflow tank, and I'm working on the wipers, but I need a second set of hands to help me with that, so that's no big deal. I still have to take this charcoal canister out, and I forgot I was pulling the headlight to find out how that was held in, and I got the headlights out and moved on, and it looks like I just got to pull the charcoal canister, and then the bolts are inside there, so no big deal. But I wanted to show you guys, I'm getting ready to, let's just call it, simplify this wiring. And this was a harness that went up to the motor. It has the wires that go to the alternator for charging. It has the wires for the AC. And when AC, temp gauge, a couple other things we're not going to use anymore. And then we've got these wires right here. This is our exciter wire for our starter, and I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'll figure it out. So now all this here, this is our power distribution. It used to be right here. Basically it just has a power wire that goes in off the battery and sends power to all these, which that's our fuel pump relay, which we're not going to be using the fuel pump anymore because we're going to carburetor. And this is our fuel pump fuse, which we're not going to be using anymore because I just told you why. So the wiring, the main wiring that comes off of this and goes to the alternator and goes back over that way to the fuse box, I have to unhook those out of here and reroute those down to the starter, and that way the fuse box will get its power from the starter just like an older non-fuel injected vehicle would. And then I'll tie in from the starter to the alternator so it'll charge, and I'll explain all that in more depth when we get to that point. But basically I just wanted to show you guys, I told you I'd tell you a little bit about simplifying the wiring. So what I'm doing right now as far as simplifying the wiring is pretty much any wire that comes out of this connector down here I'm eliminating, because it all goes to the computer, which all goes to the engine management and all that stuff, which we're not going to need anymore. So I'm going to go in there, start tracing those wires back and getting all those cut out of the harness, and then we're going to kind of trace through, find out what we need. Like I said, we need an ignition wire, which is, I already see it, it's right there. We got our wires for our windshield wipers. We got our wires for all our headlights, parking lights, turn signals. so on and so forth. And then we just need our gauge wires, and that's pretty much it. So all the rest of that doggy doo-doo over there can go away. So that's what I'm working on. All right, made some progress. I got out all the extra wiring that we're not gonna need. I got the transmission that was in there pulled out. Got the wiper motor pulled the rest of the way out. I got the vacuum canister pulled out, so on and so forth. And I took a leaf blower and blew out as much crap, leaves and dirt and whatever that I could. So that'll get us to a pretty good spot. Now I got a hose run over here. I'm gonna hook the pressure washer up and pressure wash everything really good. And then we'll be able to scuff it with some Scotch-Brite, and then we'll be able to put some paint on it. So that's the plan. Here's what we have left of the wiring. These here go down to the starter. This one's gonna go to the starter for battery, oil pressure, temperature, brake switch, or brake dummy light, I guess you'd call it, fuel tank, so on and so forth. So Pops is here. He came down to visit and help out, so he's helping me out. So I'm gonna get this transmission out of the way, get some of this stuff cleaned up, and we'll pressure wash this out. All right, there's a couple time lapses there, as you saw. And if you were paying attention, you may have noticed in the last one I was painting. So you know that it's all cleaned up. I pressure washed it. I wiped it down, rubbed it sanded it, whatever you want to consider it, with Scotch-Brite. I blew it off really good with air. I wiped it down with spray-away glass cleaner, and then we sprayed some semi-gloss Black Canyon, something, it's semi-gloss black paint, and it turned out really good. It looks a lot better than it did, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm gonna show it to you. Keep in mind the wires, like the old looming was all brittle and falling off of it and stuff. I just went ahead and sprayed over them so the wires got sprayed. I am gonna go back and put new loom on and clean that up, and I still have to go underneath and cut the exhaust off so we can set the motor in. But I'm gonna show you guys what this all looks like, and then I'll get underneath there, cut the exhaust off, we'll move some stuff around, and then we're gonna be setting the motor in. But here's what it looks like. Came out really good. Got a nice even coat of black. Got our power steering cooler. I went ahead and painted it because it was rusty. And good coverage. Everything's really clean. Everything's really even. And then the frame and stuff, I got it the best that I could. But in a little bit here, when we have the motor set in there, it's gonna be looking real good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get down there, cut exhaust off and whatnot, and then we'll get the motor over here hanging from the cherry picker, and we'll see if it's gonna fit. All right, I got the motor. Well, Pop's got the motor on the cherry picker. He blew all the old mud dauber nests and stuff off of it. I don't know if I've talked much about it yet, but this motor was in a project that somebody was doing a full restoration on, and it has been gone through. So the motor's fresh, all new, everything. Like it was ready to go. I did briefly start it up, just pouring gas down the carburetor from a bottle to make sure that it started and it was good before we went through all the work to take it out of the vehicle that it was in and put it in this truck. But this motor, 10, 15, 13, 12, whatever years ago, was rebuilt. It was fresh. It turns over free. It ran for a minute. Me pouring gas in it. It sounds good. It's smooth. There's no knocks, nothing like that. The tranny's supposed to be good too. As you'll see here when I get it closer to the camera, it's all been painted and everything, so it should be fresh. It should be good to go. So Pop's got it all set up. He's over there taking care of something, but he'll be back to help me in a second. But I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this jacked up and get ready to slide it in the hole. Is it? We don't want it to set on there at all. I just painted that.
Yeah, I know.
Need to come up some more?
Not much. I think it'll go over the top of it. That's good.
Don't let it hit that firewall.
Right.
How much room do we got to go back?
4 inches.
Does it need to be going down already?
You can't go down a little bit.
Well, I'm saying, do we need to pull it out and tilt it?
Yeah, I think we do.
Put it on the center hole so it leans down more in the back.
That's good.
You want to come push it and I'll lift it, or you think you can lift it?
We don't have to lift up.
Closer we do the cord to the firewall.
Oh, we're a foot away.
Go on.
come down a little bit more.
We can come down, we'll come down all the way until that pan's almost touching that.
I'll make the pit
Floor
this,
support.
yeah.
That's what I mean. We'll come down as far as we can and then we'll go back as much as we can. Is it moving yet?
No,
No. Tranny's leaking even though it's got something in the back of it.
yeah, I know. This little drip though, so no, it's more than.
If I didn't have that drive shaft piece in there to keep it from leaking, it'd make it a lot easier and give us quite a bit more room. Might end up having to take it out. Just put a pan under there to catch the fluid that comes out. Because we're not going to be able to get back far enough with it in there.
Right there.
Okay, when I start to go down,
Yeah.
it's going to go back a little bit. So do we have room to go back a little bit or is it going to hit?
No, you gotta you still got about 4 or 5 inches.
Before the tranny touches the firewall?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go slow. Let me know when you feel it start to move. You gonna pull it back a little?
No,
What are you doing?
I'm pushing it down so it'll get below that piece you got painted.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is it about to hit it?
No, you got about 3 inches.
Okay. And now it should be one of those where we come down a little and walk it back a little and come down a little and walk it back a little.
I gotta move that pan.
And then we'll be able to push it back as far as all the way back.
Yeah, if it goes straight down now, you should be fine. Because that back end should come back up a little bit. So.
Well, it will. Is it still rubbing the bottom of the firewall or is it off of it
it's
now?
below the firewall.
Okay. So what we need to do is go down about as far as we can.
Yeah.
And then lift that transmission up and we'll be able to push it back farther. Okay, so right about there as far as we can go back with that starter.
Yeah.
Do we got room to push it back right now
Yeah.
without hitting anything?
Yeah, you're this far below the back wall there.
Well, what about that tranny dipstick tube right there?
Yeah, it's about ready to hit that.
Okay, what? Crap. I don't need a hammer that big. Grab the, hang on, Dad.
Need the impact?
The ratchet, electric ratchet with a 5/8 socket. All right, guys. We got it in there. We got the motor set where it should be. The tranny mount is on the cross member. We're gonna have to do a little modifying, but it's there. So we're just getting motor mount bolts set in now. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little break and I'll bring you back once it's all mounted in there. All right, camera died. I went to lunch, picked my daughter up from school. Just kept working here and there. Pops was doing some stuff here and there. And I guess we got some stuff done. Motor is in, bolts are tightened down, got the water pump back on. Got the carburetor on it, got an air cleaner on it just to close it up. Got it at top dead center. Got the distributor stabbed. Got this brace here back in and the hood latch. and we had headers with the car that this motor came out of, and we wanted to see if the headers were going to work before we bought any headers or anything. So we did that, and the headers will not work. So now we're going to order headers and wait for them. So at this point, we're just getting as much done on this as we can, to where, like, when the headers come in, we can do headers and exhaust, and you know, you still got to get upper and lower radiator hoses, still got to get belts, stuff like that. But we're going to try to get it ready, so when that stuff comes, we can put it on and it'll be close to being done. So Pops has been sanding on this. We're going to paint it the same color we painted the core support and stuff, a flat black, except for the red band at the bottom. We're going to tape that off. Everything else is going to be painted semi-gloss black. The Chevy emblem's going to get some special treatment, and before it's all said and done, we're going to buff out all the lights, and there's some other surprises that we're going to do to make this the 454 Harmon Garage Edition. So I just wanted to update you guys where we were at. I did take some glass cleaner and some rags and wipe the motor down, and it came out really good. It looks like brand new paint. It's shiny, so that's awesome. And then these valve covers, I went to try to polish them up and use some, you can see over here, tried to use some of my chrome cleaner rust remover, and flakes of chrome just started falling off. So we're going to order some cheap chrome valve covers, so that it, and the headers that are getting ordered are stainless or fake stainless. They look like stainless, whatever. But anyway, so you'll have a shiny air cleaner, shiny valve covers, shiny headers. The engine compartment's all smooth and clean, and you got a nice red back on the block, so it'll really pop. So I'm gonna get to taping this off and painting it. I gotta go to a storage vehicle out back and get the radiator and stuff like that, and we'll just keep going, and I'll keep updating you until we stop. All right, as you can probably hear and might be able to see, it's raining again in Alabama. Me and Pops have been over here today, just kind of trying to get as far on old 454 HG as we could before we get the rest of the parts that we need. So I got a decent ways with it. I'm going to show you guys what we got done, and then there's a few more things that we're going to do on the video, and then we'll finish it up for now until we get more parts for it. But we got front pulleys on, our front accessories, except for the power steering pump, which I got to get off of the vehicle the motor came out of, put it in here. But we got our alternator all set up, ready to go. We got our front pulleys, we got a fan that fits with a factory shroud, got the radiator and shroud and all that in, obviously. Got our overflow tank put back in, got our wiper motor put back in, covered the hole down there where the wiring harness for the computer went. Got this all painted and put all our brace and our hood latch all painted and put back in. Got our headlights cleaned up and put back in. And maybe that's it. I don't know. Carburetor's on. I don't know if you guys saw that. Got the distributor stab that just needs the cap. I can't put wires on until I put headers on, so it's just kind of not extremely in a big hurry to loom up wires or anything until everything gets wired and it's routed where it's going to go, and I know everything works right. So with that being said, we're on to the grill. Told you guys I was going to paint the grill, and I did. It's all painted up. It's sitting over here. It's ready to go. That's why we put the headlights back in. So I'm going to set you guys up where you can see what we're doing. Me and Pops are going to grab the grill, and we're going to stick it back in here, get it mounted, and then we got some more goodies to put on here before we call it a day. We got to take the wires for the light we gotta do is we gotta pick this up and we gotta tilt it so that that red part can go inside the bumper. Help it in the ground. Get your side in. Oh, you got your side in good. I wish my side would have gone in. That looks you guys good.
Huh?
That's the only good thing. We've had enough rain this year to last for about 6 years. Alright. Grill's in. I'll get you guys a better angle of it before the video's over. But it's in. It looks way better. I wasn't going to put the parking lights back in because I want to buff them. And I'm going to buff the tail lights, but I may go ahead and just buff them. So we can stick them back in so we can see what it looks like, because kind of curious what it's going to look like all back together. So next thing we're going to do, we've got 454 SS wheels. I'm going to bring them over here. They've been used, sitting around, so I'm going to get them cleaned up, and I'll show you guys what I do to clean them up. These are already pretty clean, and I've showed you guys this process before with bumpers and whatever else, and I am not sponsored by these people at all, but I keep bragging about them. So if you want to sponsor me and you hear about me using your product, let me know. But it's just turtle wax, chrome polish, and rust remover. Been using it for years, had this same bottle for years, and it works great. You can get something that's rusty, in really bad shape, whatever. I mean, if it's like rusted to where the chrome has flaked off of it, obviously you can't bring back chrome that's not there anymore. But like as far as wheels like this and bumpers, and if they just got like a little bit of flash rust on them and stuff like that, especially if you use this stuff, I use this stuff on stuff that's got a little bit of rust, and I use the 4/0 steel wool for an applicator. And then you really get down in there and get going, and when you get done, you want to talk about a shine. But these aren't in that bad a shape, but probably one of my favorite wheels that ever came out. So if I'm going to put them on something, I'm going to clean them up before I put them on. What we're doing, go ahead. I've never read the directions on this stuff either. You can see what I'm doing. I put some on the rag, and I just apply it like you would apply wax. And make sure I get an even coat of it around on everything. I got plenty of it on there all the way around. And I just let it sit for a minute. Doesn't gotta be real long, just a minute.
There, you can rub it on this one while you're waiting for that one to dry.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, Pop's is working them too hard.
That's alright. Getting stuff done. I don't need to clean all this dirt off first because this chrome polish will take it right off, but just less scrubbing I gotta do. And I'm sure if I took some glass cleaner or something and cleaned the wheels first, it'd probably come out a little better too, but never have before, why start now? I don't think I ever showed you guys, I put these same wheels on Burb Nasty, and I don't think I know I did a short about it, but I did the same thing on them, polished them up on the truck after I put them on, and they were in way worse condition than these when I started, and they turned out great. Like I said, not sponsored by Turtle Wax. This stuff works great. I use it all the time. It lasts a long time too, because I've had the same bottle for probably 10 years now. Somewhere in there. Alright, got that one all wiped down. Let it sit there for a minute. Now we'll come back, do a little bit of polishing on this one.
Well, we'll get the jack out so we can jack this thing up for air hose and stuff. Size.
22. 22.
A lot of that?
Yes. I'll have to get another rag to wipe these off. Just keep putting it back on. There we go. That's looking better now. Nice and shined up. Woo. That is looking good. Get the other one wiped down. I already got 2 of them on the truck because 2 of the tires on the truck were flat, and I wanted tires that held air to move it around. So I'm going to polish them on the truck. Same size. I'm going to polish 2 of them on the truck, and it may not be today because they're sitting back where it's raining, and I don't want to do it in the rain. But at least we'll get these front ones polished up, get them put on. They look good. I'll bring you guys back when I'm putting the wheels on. Tell you what it looks like. All right, time for a little bit of out with the old and with the new.
Sorry. I'm gonna go put it over by the other truck. So. Need jack of that, Mark?
No, it's fine. Alright, we have to change the lug nuts because we got center caps to put on with these. So, got to switch over to the style that has the threads on them, which the guy that owns the truck, when he brought the wheels over to me, brought me the lug nuts and the center caps and the little black covers too. So we got everything we need. Man, that thing's shining. Looks good on there. All right, that's it. I'll bring you guys over where you can see this a little better, but then I'll bring it over or I'll do a walk around when we're done. So there it is. Looks absolutely amazing. I love it. Like I said, I'll do a walk around and show it to you guys when I get all 4 of them on, and then I'm not going to film doing the other ones because I got to go out in the rain to do them. So let me get the other wheels on. Like I said, the back ones are already on. I just got to do the center caps on those. And yeah, it's coming along. I wish we could start at this video, but we're not going to be able to.
Top hole?
Huh?
With the top hole?
What?
Well, you got 3 holes on this side, don't you?
I've only got 2 on here. I'll have to work on that section. No, there's no. All right, I got into a bunch of stuff that I said I wasn't going to this video, but you know me, I can't never leave nothing well enough alone. So I went ahead and I didn't polish the rear wheels as good as I polished the fronts, but I did go ahead and clean them and wipe them down with polish and put caps on just so they were all on and they all matched for the look. So here's a little bit of woo! Them front wheels are shining. They're on. At the back one, try to keep you guys out of the rain. We're missing a couple of the black caps, but I'll get some of those. But like I said, I got those wheels cleaned up. Pops cleaned up the caps. We got those on. We're not even gonna go over the interior yet because we're getting a different seat and we're doing some different stuff. So I wanna wait until we get that stuff and we'll do the interior. It'll be separate. Second thing I did that I said I wasn't gonna get into this video, I went ahead and buffed the marker lights because I wanted to get them in there with the grill and see what they look like, because I had to know. Now, one of them has gotten water inside of it at one time or something, and it's got like some staining on the inside. I couldn't get it out. I tried to go get one of the other lights I had to replace it for the look, but they had a different pattern on the lens. I didn't want them to be mismatched. So here's the truck with the black grille on the front with the headlights and the marker lights in it. We're gonna do some more things to dress it up before it's done, but I like it. So here it is. This is the lens with the staining I was telling you about. From back here, I can kind of see it because I know it's there, but it's not that prominent. It's not super noticeable, but got it buffed out. Got this one buffed out. Got our shine going on over here too. Now I'm getting wet. And this piece of trim right here that's missing is right there in the bed. So I can take this double-sided tape off, put some new double-sided tape on, put that piece of trim back on, and we'll have all our trim and be able to keep the patina look that we want. You may have heard when me and Pops, or Pops and I, were putting the grill on, that I said it looks like it got tagged in this corner and it wasn't really wanting to fit right. Right down here, this fender's kind of, the bumper's pushed in and the fender's kind of off, so it won't let the grill go in where it needs to be. I'm gonna address that before it's done and gone, but for right now, it's okay. So I like it. It looks good. That bumper trim needs something done with it. I don't know. The pieces that hold it on are busted off of it. It's all stretched out. I can't really do anything with that piece that's on there. We're gonna have to find a new one or something. So, or I don't know. But anyways, I showed you guys everything we had going on under here. I still got some cleanup to do. I got to clean up some hoses and stuff that I put in that haven't really been cleaned yet. I got to clean up the alternator or get a new one, but it'll be okay for now. And clean up the bottom of the hood, wipe it down good, stuff like that. I still got to dress up wiring like I already mentioned once everything's done. And we'll do a little cleaning on some of this brake stuff and whatnot. But for this video, I think we made pretty good progress and did pretty good. We've got a 1988 Chevy 1500 454 HG. So like I mentioned before, it's a 454 SS clone, but it's not that much of a clone. The concept of having the 454 and the half-ton OBS pickup is a clone, but what we're actually doing to it isn't that much of a clone. So anyways, hope you guys liked the video. If you're not subscribed, please do. If you're into this build, there's gonna be more videos in a couple weeks. I gotta wait for parts to get here and whatnot. So once parts come in, I'll be able to finish it, and then we'll be able to fire it up, drive it, do smoky burnouts. We're gonna do headers, we're gonna do exhaust. I still gotta do power steering. I gotta make the brakes work. I gotta get all the wiring done. We gotta dress up the interior. And there's one last touch that I mentioned on a different project in another video, is something that I'm trying out and doing that I'm gonna do on this truck to give it a little extra flair and make it one-on-one. you'll find out what that is when the time comes. So like I said, if you're not subscribed, please do. Hit the notifications if you want to, then you'll get notified when this thing comes back up again. Or just watch the other videos, they're pretty good too. So thank you guys so much for watching. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. Pop says bye. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.